Morning
that's
voice.
a morning voice. So you sound vastly different at night then.
Correct.
Well, welcome to Singapore. When did you get in?
Last night
All right, where
from Melbourne.
Okay.
Melbourne, Australia.
Okay.
So got into hotel at 11 p.m.
Oh,
from? Oh, wow. Okay.
Early start for me.
yeah, you
Yeah.
reckon?
I'm
That's a
an
bit early.
entertainer. I'm
Yeah.
used to late nights, but not early
Of
mornings.
course, of course. Well, thank you so much for coming in.
No, thank you for having me.
This is not your first time in Singapore. I actually went to see your last show. And
Hope you enjoyed it.
absolutely enjoyed it.
Oh,
but
thank you.
even more excited that you're in the studio. We're going to see
Some
some
close-up
stuff I
magic.
hope.
Oh, we
up
got to
close
see
and-
some magic.
Yes,
Up close
we
and
are.
personal.
Okay,
Yeah.
who wants to disappear?
That's
We volunteer the man in red.
Oh, thanks.
That guy.
Yeah, thanks.
We've been
As you-
trying to get rid of him for years.
As you notice, I'm outnumbered today.
I can see. I can
Completely
see. I can
outnumbered.
see.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so tell us a little bit more about Cosentino Descenium. This kicks off this Thursday at Marina Bay
does.
Sands.
Yes.
Why should people be going to book their tickets?
Wow. Well, we say it's a magic show, an illusion show, but what does that mean? It means people appearing and disappearing and levitating and teleporting, but it's more than that. There's close-up sleight of hand magic, these crazy death-defying escapes. I'm hanging upside down from burning ropes. Lots of audience interaction. Lots of
Wow.
audience
Oh, nice.
participation. A little bit of humor,
Good.
dance, and the lighting, the costumes, the sets. It makes it a very rounded performance, and it's a rock and roll show. It's a musical theatre show. It's a magic show, all combined into
Oh,
one.
that's
And
so
it sounds like a lot, but when
Yeah.
you see it, you
No, it's like
understand
an
what I'm saying.
all-around entertaining.
And it is
full
a
entertainment.
family show.
It's a family show.
Okay,
for sure, of
so
course.
everything for something for everything.
For
Something for
every-
everyone.
Correct. I
And
think so.
everything, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Both exactly.
Okay, yes.
How did you get started in this? I mean, magic and illusion.
Stupidity, I think.
I thought that was only me.
That's how the best things
That's
start,
yeah,
honestly.
No, I was a kid who was very shy, believe it or not, very introverted, and I had a lot of learning difficulties. Reading, my mother was a school principal. She tried everything to get me to connect, to engage, to read, and I would refuse. So one day she takes me to the library in Melbourne, Australia, and I'm just sitting there looking at books with pictures. And I stumble across a book with these beautiful vaudevillian posters of pictures of magicians. But to me, they look like comic books.
Right.
So she sees me with the book open. She thinks, great, the book's opened. But
He's
I'm not reading.
interested.
He's interested.
You're
But I'm not
looking
reading.
at
I'm
the-
looking at pictures.
Yeah.
We borrowed a book, we take it home. My mother would read these stories and adventures and escapades of all these great magicians to me. And I was so intrigued about, Harry Houdini jumping off bridges, handcuffed and chained, and people thought that he melted and dematerialized
Yeah.
for all the restraint. So it was fascinating as a kid. But in the back of the book, there was magic tricks.
Oh, nice.
So she would sit with me very patiently, and we
And
would read the
read them
description
too.
of the trick, then analyze it, break it down, analyze each word.
Wow.
And that's how I learned to read, because it wasn't just listening to a story, it was participating.
In
And
something that you were interested in
correct.
as well.
And remember, there's no YouTube, there's no Google, there's
Yeah.
no TikTok. So to learn magic, you have to learn through a book. So I learned to read, I learned a few tricks. I showed my father, who is a structural engineer, and he said to me, I made a coin vanish. Now, you're thinking that's not great. All kids can make money disappear. So that's not really a magic trick.
Well, mine can.
But it was sleight of hand. The coin vanished. My father, the engineer, who I thought was a genius, he said to me, "How did you do it?" Now you can imagine as a kid who's struggling and the world
Yeah.
is problematic, and you can do something that your father cannot. That's
Yeah.
very powerful.
Yeah.
And that's what kicked off the obsession.
Oh,
But I think
wow.
it sounds like magic has been your passion from the get-go.
Very much so. It's made me who I am. It's allowed me to travel the world. It's allowed me to just be different, unique. So I owe everything to it.
Wow.
Okay. We're going to go on to the Big Show TV. Join us on YouTube and Facebook. That's Kiss 92 FM. Because prior to his show starting on Thursday, you might get to see some magic here in the studio. Right now, here's Carol G featuring Aldo Ranks with Watati on Kiss 92.
Hello?
Okay, so we're live on Facebook and YouTube. You said your dad is a structural engineer.
Mm-hmm.
Does any of his work come into play when setting up sort of your stage?
Just
Very
Stage
much
setups.
So.
Yeah?
When I was a child.
You
and-
hired your father?
Correct.
Okay.
He would
He
draw the
might have volunteered.
He would draw the
Yeah.
plans for my contraptions, my apparatus. And as a kid, when you're starting, you don't know. Now there's builders, there's people who specialize in that area, but I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I would say to my father, I want to do this particular piece, or maybe I'm in a box and blah, 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 blah. And so he would draw it up, and then we'd go build it together.
Wow, I
Yeah.
love that. So then you
Amazing.
have that, you have some shared thing that you're both proud of, that you both
Correct.
can say that you've done together. That's
Exactly.
beautiful.
But that's you've had this amazing relationship with your parents then, because I read somewhere that you were once with your mom, you were locked outside your home.
Yes. This is a true story.
Why don't you tell them this story? This story is really good.
I was learning to pick locks with a locksmith.
How timely.
Yes, correct. I was 13 years old. And so my mother and I arrived home. We were locked outside the house. And my mother, as a joke, she was being clever.
Right.
She said, well, why don't you just open the door? You can
Yeah.
pick locks. I couldn't pick. I was learning with padlocks.
Right, padlocks, yeah,
kit
not
and-
key
correct.
holes, yeah.
Exactly. And I'm like, well, I don't really know how to do that. Anyway,
You tried.
I tried, and I got my lock picks, and I heard this wonderful.
Oh, wow.
And then I looked back at my mother, and she looked at me, and she realized at that moment that my life could go in two completely different directions.
But why were you learning to pick locks at the age of 13? Was this part of your journey to becoming a magician?
Yes, because with me, I always like to start at the grassroots. So I knew Houdini didn't melt through the locks. I knew that he would pick the locks
Right.
under cover, under disguise. So for me, I always want to start at the ground level. How did he do it? How did he learn? So I went to a locksmith, and I actually genuinely learnt how to pick locks and understand the inner workings of a lock and handcuffs. And so I didn't want to pretend that I could pick locks. I wanted to know that I could really do it.
Yeah.
And so I studied and I practiced, and it's like anything. And yeah, you get good at it if you do it long enough.
Yeah, of course. So you've got lots of illusions, lots of magic tricks and all that in your show. How do you conceptualize each performance?
Yeah,
you know, how do you put it together? How do you curate that?
Yeah.
Inspiration is from many sources, books I may have read, movies, music. You might take a classic, let's say you're inspired by sawing someone in half. Well, how could you do it today? How could you make it more modern? How could you make it more entertaining? So for me, I start with the end result. What do I want the audience to actually see? What did I want them to feel? And then I have to re-engineer it. I've got to go backwards and say, okay, in my bag of tricks, what methods can I use to make this effect work?
Right.
So end result, re-engineer it, and then
Work backwards,
work
basically.
backwards. Yeah. And each illusion takes about 3 months of prep.
Wow.
And then when you put it on stage, it's still not. It's like
Not
being
perfect.
a comedian. It's not perfect.
Yeah.
You have to kind of keep working it and working it and working it and refining it. So it's not easy to create magic, and 2 minutes takes literally, if you're refining it down, years. of
Wow.
practice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Do you have a favorite act?
Oh, that's tough. You know, I like people to come and see the whole show, and I'm not doing it as a sell. I just prefer. It's like a great movie. Imagine just taking out one scene of a film.
I
kinda
see.
hard,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But you need to say, when you're watching a good film, there's like there's drama, there's romance, there's comedy, there's action, and then the whole film, and maybe there's a little twist at the end of the film. So you can't just, and maybe the twist is the best part, right? But unless you watch the whole film, you don't really
You
get
don't
the
get
twist.
it. Yeah.
It's a little
Out of
bit
context, yeah.
It's out of context, a little bit like that.
Okay. What would you say to all these sort of TV shows and all that reveal how magicians do their magic? I mean, the whole thing is a magician never reveals his secrets. Is there a secret that you can reveal?
Well, I learned a lot from watching those TV shows.
I think a lot of people did.
No, because they're giving away old secrets, and at the end of the day, yes, the trick is fun and it can be baffling and entertaining, but I think when you watch a show, you diffuse that by wrapping it in storytelling and music and humor, and it doesn't become so much about the trick. And I know that sounds like a contradiction when I'm talking to you and going to perform a trick, but when you watch the show, it's more than that. So you come up with different ways to do maybe the same thing, so you can disguise the method, or you just steer away from it.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry, just to answer that again a little bit. I think the hardest thing about those exposed shows is they diminish and they belittle the art form a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
It
reckon?
ruins the magic.
They ruin it. They,
Yeah.
they spoil it too much.
Okay, we have about a minute and a half. Is that enough for you to do something, or would you like to wait for the next time we go on
you know,
TV?
let's wait for the next one.
time. Okay, all right,
There's
okay.
no rush.
Otherwise, I'll be rushing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you mentioned earlier old secrets that they revealed, the expose and all that. How far has magic evolved, say, from Harry Houdini?
Yeah, well, Harry Houdini would be locked in a box in a trunk and covered with a sheet or a cloth, and the audience would stare at this sheet for 20 minutes
Oh,
Yeah.
while
wow.
he tries to escape.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
That's it.
Yeah.
And the anticipation would just be.
And there'd be
the
no
waiting.
music or anything.
No.
to-
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
you can't do that.
Yeah.
It's far more pacey. Everything is hyper visual.
Yeah.
You got to keep the thing moving quickly. A lot of technology has helped, even if you don't really know what's happening. Even if you can't see the technology, we're using a lot of it behind the scenes.
Right.
We project all the close-up magic onto these huge screens.
Yeah.
So someone will sit opposite me and witness the magic under their nose, but the rest of the audience can watch them on screens.
Just as close up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the real difference to seeing it on TV or seeing it on the internet. When you come to the show, you get caught up in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And also, you can justify it if you're watching on a TV. You say to yourself, oh, I reckon it's an actor or it's set up, which it's not. But then when you come on stage or you participate, it's far more potent.
Okay,
course.
let's go back on air. We've got traffic update, and
Yeah.
then we will ask you more questions.
Kiss 92 traffic.
We've got the usual delays across the expressways, so nothing should surprise you too much. What we want you to do, though, is stay within the speed limit. Please look out for one or two areas. The TPE towards the SLE, we've got a vehicle broken down after Punggol Road exit. ECP towards the city, an obstacle on the road after Still Road South. Also on the PIE towards Changi, a vehicle broken down after the TPE. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
You're listening to The Big Show with Angel, Daphne, and the Flying Dutchman, and we're very honored to have in the studio today Cosentino, illusionist and magician. Just what is the difference between an illusionist and a magician, Cos?
If you're an illusionist, you get paid 20% more.
Nice.
way to
I like
explain it.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
Simple.
Okay, that's it. All right. So the next time you want to market yourself, say you're an illusionist.
I'm an illusionist, yeah. You know, you do tricks, and as you said, you've got burning ropes and things like, and you're chained up and all this. It always amazes me how you guys stay calm. Because there have got to be moments where things just don't quite work. And I know sometimes it looks like it's part of the show, but sometimes it's got to be real.
It happens. In my TV shows, I have my head inside a Perspex box with 18 kitchen knives. The knives are examined, they're real knives. And before my TV special, we were filming it that night, and I wanted to be dramatic and get a really good scene
Right.
for TV. And I got out just a little bit late, got nicked by a knife, and ended up with 12 stitches in my chin. Rushed to emergency. Yeah.
That's not getting nicked. That's getting stabbed.
Well, correct. Also, I did an underwater escape called Dropped, and I was in a Perspex bubble, dropped 10 meters deep, and I blew my eardrum. I ruptured my eardrum, had to cancel the stunt. And obviously, when you rupture an eardrum,
Yeah.
you get disorientated, nauseous, and I'm underwater. And this is all caught on an iPhone, because we were trying to test how I would film it for the next day with a live audience. Rupture my eardrum, all this blood's gushing out of my ear, and then I couldn't do the stunt. We had to cancel for the TV show, couldn't get on an airplane, couldn't do shows.
Oh my
To me, it's like being a stuntman. So
Yeah.
and these stunts you do once. You
Yeah.
don't go back and so that's it.
Refilm it or
No,
anything.
correct.
Yeah.
Right.
So things do go wrong, and it's because you're in uncharted territory. And you're doing things that you've never really done before, and it's hard to train for them when it's not like running the 100-meter sprint. People have done it so many times before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're trying to do new things, so it's tough.
Yeah.
And speaking of these things that you've been doing and pushing the envelope, trying to create new things, I mean, you've been doing this for 10 years. You've had 10 years of global success. Are there any like iconic moments or just moments that you feel like have either made your career or meant a lot to you?
Yeah, I'll tell you a little bit of a story. I saw my hero, David Copperfield, if you remember who David
Of
Copperfield
course.
is.
Yeah.
Right.
Has he retired?
No, he's
he
still
was
in
just
Vegas.
here
Is he still
last
around?
year. He
Oh,
was, I think
did he
was
come
in
to Singapore?
Was he?
Yeah, not that long ago.
Wow, there you
Okay,
go.
all right. Okay.
So I saw him as a child at a venue called the Regent Theatre in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And I was actually sitting next to his parents, which was wonderful. Yeah, and I was a really big fan. I am a big fan. And so I saw David Copperfield at this Regent Theatre. And then many years later, I did an audition for Australia's Got Talent, which happened to be at the Regent Theatre. And I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I'm on the same stage as David Copperfield. And then a year later, I did my own TV show and the first Australian magician ever. And I did it at the Regent
At
Theatre.
the region.
Wow.
Full
Full
circle.
circle. I love those moments. Those
Yeah.
full circle moments.
Yeah.
Have you got to meet David Copperfield in person?
Many times.
Wow, look
Many
at that.
times.
I
He's a
bet you
lovely
he's
guy.
on your speed dial as well.
Hey, when we do that thing, can you explain how?
Well, when you've got
Do you
magician,
guys share?
Yeah, well, when you've got good magician friends, and I've written quite a bit of material for
Yeah.
people in Vegas, and we don't talk about it too much because magicians are very secretive.
Of course.
Yeah,
with
we
their
are.
secrets.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've written material for other big magicians in the States. and-
Actually, yeah, I feel like people don't talk about the collaboration that happens between magicians because it is a
Yes.
a very creative field that you need an entire village to put together, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I've
So
got a
that's
really
so
good team with
interesting.
me, the technicians and cast and crew. So it's not just me. There's 14 of us here.
I
Wow,
was just
okay.
about to ask how big your team was.
Yeah.
Wow,
14.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
we're
a
gonna
big
go.
team.
We're gonna go see some magic. Join us on the Big Show TV. It is YouTube and Facebook at Kiss 92 FM. The time now is 8:18.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you.
All right.
Okay, no more talking.
This is my
Okay.
favorite part.
Okay. I'm not sure what we should do. I'll try a couple of things. We've got a bit of time?
Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
you
we
have a
got time.
camera
Camera
there.
here.
Yeah,
Okay.
the camera's
Camera's
at top
right
right.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you want to do that.
Okay. In a packet of playing cards, first off, two magicians.
Wait, we
cards-
have cards if you want.
I've got some
Oh,
cards.
you've got,
I'll
okay.
show you. But you can check them in a second. I want you to know that cards are important to the magician. There are 52 different cards, and they represent the 52 weeks in a year. And the 4 suits actually represent the 4 seasons, and black cards and red cards represent night and day. And an ace all the way through to king. So ace is a 1 and a king is a 13. You add them
Yep.
up is 365. So there's a lot of significance.
What?
Yeah, it's weird, right?
I can't believe I've been alive for so long and didn't know that.
That's why I tell people this. It's not so when I say pick a card, to you it's like
Pick
just
a
pick
day.
a card. Correct.
Picking a day of the
Pick a
See?
day,
It's
yeah.
really it has power.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to make some decisions. There
Okay.
are red cards and there are black cards. Just
Okay.
decide red. You choose one.
Do
red
I
or-
say it
yeah,
out?
Yeah, say it out. I'm not a
Red.
mind reader.
Red. Red.
Red.
Red.
Okay. If there are red cards, it has to be hearts or diamonds. So you get to choose hearts or diamonds. It's up to you. Hearts. Okay.
Okay.
So there are number cards and there are picture cards.
Yes.
Do you want numbers or pictures?
Numbers.
Numbers. So numbers are we'll say ace 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10.
10.
Choose a number.
You want me to say it?
Yes.
He's not a mind
Not a
reader.
mind
No,
reader.
yeah, you're not a mind reader.
No.
Illusionist
that's your
magician.
next trick. 4.
4. So
Four
red.
hearts.
We chose red. So 4 of hearts.
Yeah.
Okay. Pack of cards has been in my hand. You saw me take the whole time. 4 of hearts.
Right.
If anyone had changed their mind, or we could have been black, we could have been diamonds, we
Yeah.
could have been 4 of hearts. I took one card before I came up. I was scrounging downstairs. They saw me. They saw me actually quickly. I was putting things. I said, I got to get ready before we go up. I put one card and I placed it face up
Okay.
in the pack.
Okay.
The rest are face down.
Okay.
FD.
I'm going to
No.
stand up a little bit.
Okay.
No.
Can I?
Yeah,
Is
For
it
the
okay
drama.
if
Yeah,
I?
yeah, film.
No. No.
Okay.
No.
So, as I
No.
move through the pack, notice, can the camera see? The cards are all face down, okay?
Yeah.
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 Okay? But one card is face up.
No
Oh, come on!
But
Oh, come on!
Can you see that they're all...
Wait.
and they're
What?
All, yeah. And what's really, really cool is I said to you guys that it was the only card from a completely different pack. Do you remember me saying
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
So they were all red, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Wait.
Oh, come on!
So,
Wait. What?
so the 4 of hearts is the only blue card. What's really crazy
Yeah.
is that I did look you guys up online before
Uh-oh.
I
Okay.
even came to
Yeah.
Singapore.
Oh,
You
Right.
did your
Right.
research.
I did my research.
But maybe not me, because Glenn's usually here.
Okay. Well, I did my research, but what's really crazy is I made sure you were going to choose the 4 of hearts. Yeah, because look at the pack.
It's all 4 of hearts.
Wait,
Oh,
no.
no.
Oh my God, it's
They're all blank
blank.
cards.
What?
You had no choice.
Oh
Wait.
my God.
That is just, okay, that's freaky.
That's amazing.
That's very freaky.
Wow.
That's
very
amazing.
freaky.
And now you'll be thinking, what happens if I had chosen another card?
Yeah.
Another day.
No, I never regret. I just wonder and sit in amazement.
Isn't that crazy?
That's
ridiculous.
amazing.
Unbelievable.
That's
So
ridiculous.
you got
That's
us to choose. You got us to choose the Four of Hearts.
Yes, of course. He
Yeah.
planned it.
Or we'll never know.
He planned
You'll
it.
never know. Did you see hearts as you drove to work this morning? Did you see,
everywhere.
Did you see
No.
the color
Yeah.
red?
Well, I mean, our station is called
Kiss.
Kiss.
Can I do one more thing?
Yeah.
Of course.
Please,
Can
please.
I borrow your glasses?
Yeah, sure.
Now the camera might be hard. I'm going to do this.
He won't be
on
able to see, though.
the- Well, it's more magical if you can't see.
Here,
Yeah.
you can
Okay.
use. You can use
Sure.
my.
I've got here.
You guys need to describe what's about to happen. I'm going to take this.
Okay.
Okay. All right. He's taking his
Headphones
headphones
off.
off.
No.
I don't know what he's gonna break it.
He's going to break his glasses.
Okay,
He's,
the glasses
he's putting
are
the
on the
glasses on the
floor.
ground.
Uh-huh.
Wait.
No. No, you're not.
With FD's
Oh, you get out of here.
He's levitating.
He's levitating the
Levitate. The
glasses.
glasses are moving.
He's levitating my glasses.
The glasses are raising off the ground. Don't worry, guys. We will.
Holy smoke.
And he's flipped the glasses on its front. I'm going to
Okay,
put
come
this
on.
up on my Instagram.
Okay, that's just crazy.
Oh my God.
And there's no
That's
strings.
insane.
There's nothing.
No, and
There's
those
just-
were FD's glasses. And
Wow.
FD was not
Oh.
paid by Cosentino.
No.
That's insane.
Wow. Now I want to be an
Crazy.
illusionist. I want to be
No,
a,
I just want to
a
get tickets for
master
the show
illusionist.
now.
So now that you can do all that, can you make money appear?
Yeah, by doing
That's
shows.
the trick I want to learn.
Should
I-
we take you to the casinos
Yes,
with
you
us?
should.
Yes, we
but
should.
if I
Okay.
could do that, I'd be in the Bahamas.
Yeah, you would.
I don't think so. I think you love magic too much.
I do. I love it too much. I do.
Unbelievable. If you want to catch Cosentino Descenium, it does start this Thursday through to the 3rd of September. There are Thursdays, Fridays, Saturday, and Sunday shows, and then you break in between the week. But do get your tickets from marinabaysands.com. We still have a little bit of time to talk to you for a little bit. If you had any sort of words of advice for anyone who wants to get into the business, whether they're kids or adults, or at a moment in their life where they feel like they're going through a midlife crisis, maybe, what would you say?
Oh, wow. Well, there's lots of places to learn magic now, not just through books. But I think the best place to learn magic tricks or illusions is through books, because you have to dissect the effect. You have to inject your own personality. When you watch it on TV, or you watch someone else and you learn from somebody else visually, you learn to mimic a little
Mimic,
too.
yeah, imitate.
You imitate too much. So the book, and also by reading magic books, there's a kind of like this discovery of like, oh my gosh, there's this great aspect of unearthing secrets, and I liked it. So I would go to a library, I would go a magic shop and buy some magic books, and then practice. As a magician, you have to love practice,
Yeah.
and it's hard work. It's not. It's like we spend all this time practicing to hide our talent, like our skill.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like a juggler where it's on display, or a singer where you can
Right.
see it into. You have to be okay with that as well, and accept the fact that your job is to make it look very easy and simple, and make it appear as if it's magic.
Wow.
And seamless.
How difficult was the training? Because a lot of magic is the storytelling. How difficult was it to master that part? of the
Yeah,
art?
that came later in my career. I was always very visual. I had a lot of dance in the show, very physical. And then I learnt to inject my own personality into the show, tell stories about myself, why I got interested in magic, involved in magic. And correct, it's all about the storytelling. And that's what magic does. The trick, the illusion is one aspect of it, and the storytelling and everything else, the lighting, the costumes, everything else has to be as equal, if not better. Otherwise, it just becomes I mean, tricks are good, but it gets boring pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Not as entertaining.
Correct.
Okay, we've got traffic coming up, and then we're going back on air.
Fast forward.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Alrighty, TPE towards the SLE vehicle broken down after Punggol Road exit. ECP towards the city vehicle broken down after Still Road South. PIE towards Changi, a vehicle broken down after the TPE. The AYE towards Tuas, an accident before Penjuru Road. There's a lot of congestion there. Look out for that. We have another accident on the MCE towards the ECP before Central Boulevard exit. Lane 3 has been cleared. There are still vehicles in lane 4 and 5. Please stay within the speed limit. Have everyone buckled up. Be safe as you drive today.
It's the Cosentino Descenium episode of The Big Show, the greatest live magic show, and we just got treated to 2 sleight of hand tricks on The Big Show TV. So
Yeah.
if you missed that, you can always head to our YouTube and Facebook channel to watch that later on. And of course, we have Cosentino in the studio right now.
By the way, my spectacles have been touched by this man. They go on sale after the show, just to let you know.
We're also selling the air in the studio.
Yes,
Yes,
we are.
yeah, it's magic air now.
We're bottling it.
So it's Cosentino Descenium, the greatest live magic show, starting this Thursday at Marina Bay Sands. Why do you call it the greatest live magic show?
Wow. Descenium first off stands for a decade. It means 10
Oh,
years.
of course, because
Yeah.
you've been 10 years.
10
yeah.
years. Well, I think it combines. Most magicians specialize in close-up magic, or they'll specialize in illusions, or escapes, or mentalism, and we combine it all. So the title, I mean, obviously the title is there to generate attention, but it's also, it's fitting. It's a very unique magic show. It really is, and doing all those disciplines is not easy. Usually, it will take 7 magicians to do.
Those different.
Yeah, correct. So we're doing it all in one show.
And you just came in from Melbourne, which is home, right? How much of the year are you on the road?
Oh wow, it's
Is it majority of the year?
Yeah, I would say I'm in and out constantly. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking international, but locally, we tour all around the country, and most of the year, and it's difficult to coordinate with the equipment because we bring shipping containers over,
Yeah.
and so we have to be really, really clever in how we
Time it.
time it all. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you're saying that you travel with 40-foot containers?
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
they got all the
crazy.
tricks in it.
Yeah.
That's going to be
That's
like on this
crazy.
massive
Two-
stage.
Two containers, yeah. So that timing has to be right. You can't,
Yeah.
Like, for example, once we get back, we start rehearsing for my Australian tour, and then we go to New Zealand. So if we mistime it, or something gets stuck in customs or whatever it might be, then shows
everything
yeah.
gets-
Snap your fingers, it'll appear. I haven't quite got that one down
I
yet.
haven't yet. That would be the greatest magic trick.
Well, we've been speaking to Cosentino of Cosentino Descenium, the greatest live magic show. It starts on Thursday at Marina Bay Sands. You can get your tickets from marinabaysands.com. It goes all the way till the 3rd of September. So do catch it. I did catch it the last time. The last show was very different from this show.
Yes.
Was it the last
Completely
time?
different show, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So if you did catch it the last time, you want to see this one because it's brand new. Well, thank you so much, Cos, for coming in.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
touching the
Thanks.
glasses. I'm buying some money.
Thanks for
Pleasure,
showing
my
us
pleasure.
some magic.
My
Yes.
pleasure, guys. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, here's Dean Lewis with Be All Right.
I look up from the ground to see your sad and teary eyes. You look away from me, and I see there's something